but I'm holding on in order to stay around in a life therapy imbalance. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing strong cause I realize the price little one must pay to keep the big one in paradise. It's torment and misery all day. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the meek must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's heyday. So they will bite the ground when the master plays. As long as you have the cash and all your strings attached, you're on earth but living in heaven. There's nothing for the poor or as evermore. Life in a lion's den. Hungry man shall aspire to keep the high man on top, to take him higher and higher. The poor one must struggle till he drop. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the meek must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's heyday. So they will bite the ground when the master plays. Gun power have the natives under subjection. The black majority live in poverty, all because they ain't strong. Black man life is a thoroughfare. Nature make him a slave. South Africa is a nightmare for colored from cradle to the grave. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the meek must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's heyday. So they will bite the ground when the master plays. Today is bound to hold. Nature will somersault, bringing sudden death to this wild place. And only those who clean going to make this scene. How you work, you get paid. Sufferers shouldn't worry. Nature taking its course. Tomorrow you may be happy. Just hold on. If you let go, you're lost. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the meek must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil's heyday. So they will bite the ground when the master plays.
than diplomacy. It is a lifeline to many countries, bringing education to classrooms, care to clinics, recovery to villages, and growth to fragile economies. On this milestone anniversary, we must face a very hard truth. The spirit of multilateralism is under strain, the effects of which has begun to undermine the foundations of stability and peace. Countries are not only defined by geographical borders, but also by cultural identities, religious beliefs, ethnic compositions, and, of course, legal structures. That is why, through legal immigration, persons are allowed entry because they fulfill the criteria. Therefore, Trinidad and Tobago is particularly grateful for the U.S. military presence in the Southern Caribbean. This has been very effective in inhibiting the innumerable activities of drug cartels within our country. While there have been objections to the U.S. military action against drug cartels in the Southern Caribbean, some objections from some countries, I state today, Trinidad and Tobago reminds the international community that unless forceful and aggressive actions are taken, these evil drug cartels will continue their societal destruction because they believe affected nations will always unreservedly subscribe to morals and ethics and human rights and values, which they themselves blatantly flout. They do not adhere to those, and therefore we will fight fire with fire. We will fight fire with fire, within the law, 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 within the law. That is why we willingly supported the International Security Alliance announced by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, involving the U.S. and several countries in South America, and of course including Trinidad and Tobago, to combat drug trafficking in the hemisphere. Trinidad and Tobago, I say, is very committed to contributing our resources, as scarce as they may be, and our capabilities to this alliance, in line with the theme of this year's General Assembly, Better Together. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the theme before us, as I said before, and we all know for today, better together. We go from principle to practice. This principle, better together, is not just a slogan, it is a call to action. It signifies the collective effort required to combat transnational crime, to uphold democracy, and to restore peace and security in our nation. Therefore, despite being a very small country with limited resources, we are committed to sharing the burden with the United States, with Panama, and all countries willing, I say with the greatest of respect, the antagonistic approach adopted by some climate activists towards the implementation of their climate agenda sometimes does more harm than good. Developed countries, I say with the greatest respect again, can't or should not force-feed a climate agenda onto developing countries and blackmail them into cooperation. We cannot proceed in that manner. That is exactly what has been happening, where the access to financial systems, media platforms, new technologies, and development funding has been weaponized in order to coerce, to force compliance with some climate goals. What adds insult to injury and to injustice is that many of the same developed nations actively supporting the imposition of aggressive climate agenda, an aggressive climate agenda, actually achieve developed nation status and prosperity through highly environmentally destructive and polluted industries in the many decades gone by. Trinidad and Tobago commits that we will, within reason, support actions to protect the environment for future generations. However, independent nations must be free to create a climate policy which is crafted to balance their development goals and poverty eradication with policies dealing with environmental protection. As we progress, Madam President, into a multipolar world order, where power is diffused across regions, it will be impossible to coerce all actors to adhere to the current climate agenda being advocated. Trinidad and Tobago will not adopt unbalanced and unreasonable imposed climate practices that will simply lead to the exploitation of our jobs, lowering our standard of living, and stunting our economic development, punishing our people into poverty, while many larger countries completely ignore their responsibilities. Our country, Trinidad and Tobago, for 63 years, we have upheld the rule of law, championed human rights, strengthened international law, and we have never been silent in the face of injustice. This is why Trinidad and Tobago sought support to become a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the 2027-28 term. During our term, we will build on our record, amplifying unheard voices to ensure that justice and equality anchor lasting security. Madam President, colleagues, Trinidad and Tobago may be small in size, but we are large in conviction. We continue to ask for your support so that this Council reflects not only the interests of the powerful, but also the voices and aspirations of all people. Trinidad and Tobago is firmly committed to the tenets of multilateralism. On this 63rd anniversary, let us agree to strive for greater cooperation, to strive for more openness to respecting free speech, and also at the same time respecting dissenting opinion. Over the past decade, there has been an inclination to cancel views that are not fashionable to dominating narratives. Today I ask, let us pledge to listen to each other with an objective mindset. Peace and progress can only be fulfilled through honest, sometimes uncomfortable decisions, and this is a place for that. This honest communication is even more important, as I said, in a multipolar world order, where military and economic power is now disseminated across the globe.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live on the Workers' Rights channel. Now, I know that I have been MIA for quite some time. Sometimes the pressures in life, sometimes it could fall on you to a point that it becomes sometimes challenging. But in the midst of this challenge, we must stay the course in order to be victorious in the end. When life throw lemons, make lemonade. And there was or is, a matter of fact, an active threat in Trinidad and Tobago, and we would have seen concerted efforts from members in the media. A matter of fact, good afternoon now is 1:26. We humbly apologize for coming on so late. I mean, today we did plan to cancel the show, but a lot of you would have called and make your voice known concerning what we have installed today and the truths we continue to present on this platform. So we urge the many of you to check out our website, www.workersrights868.com on YouTube, and you could follow this program live here on YouTube, live on TikTok, and again we will be going. I don't know if my brother maybe hook up this thing here on X. So we are live all over Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean and the world. And today, Trinidad and Tobago. All that speech that would have taken place there in the UN presentation, you see, all you have to do is just step back a little bit and you will see the intentionality of certain people. All you have to do is just wait and listen. The US gravely was in Trinidad and Tobago just some days ago. One of the biggest bomber in the world. And we know it have an active threat between Venezuela and America, where America is stating, claiming, or trying to postulate in a particular direction that they are about to invade Venezuela. That is what it is. Let's make no bones about it. They are trying to manhandle Maduro for his resources. That is no. I mean, it cannot be overstated or understated in concordance to some of the nonsense that you are hearing within the public domain. Nobody after Maduro. Come on. If I still believe that nonsense, that America not there because of the oil and they fighting drugs, if I believe that nonsense, then I could sell oil wet goat rope and tell you it's no brand. Just like what the members of the UNC is saying. Trinidad and Tobago, this is very serious that is taking place right next door. It's very serious. This not no joke, it's on my doorstep. And what you're saying is don't believe that. We reach where we go in here in Trinidad.
The territory is off limits to them. If Mr. Cabello's comments are a veiled threat to enter TNT territory, they should reconsider any such intention. The fact is that as a responsible government, we have to take all threats against any incursion into our territory seriously. I will speak to Minister of Defense and the Attorney General to seek advice on protections for our Coast Guard, to use deadly force on any unidentified vessel entering TT waters from Venezuela. Smuggling military able-bodied men and women, TNT is off limits to them. Following comments from Maduro and Cabellos, we now have to take seriously the threat by that government sending their agents into our country to commit acts that can be adverse to our own welfare. We will also have to take a look at how we go forward with Venezuelan migrants here who are military aged and able-bodied men and women. We have to take this threat seriously now. They have done this before. They made similar propaganda comments about Guyana and Colombia whenever they had interior political problems or elections, and then they engage in border skirmishes with violence. We will take these threats very seriously. I want to tell further TNT drug and human traffickers, smugglers, who are masquerading as fishermen. If you enter Venice waters to do your illegal acts and you're caught by Venice authorities, you are on your own. I repeat, you are on your own. No amount of family crying on Ian's programs will cause us to intervene. Mr. Cabello.
Now, that was a statement by the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Just on the heels of war, while many of you could say that from that statement, from that very statement, that was the beginning of the escalation of war on Trinidad and Tobago, and our support towards the US on Trump madman rant throughout the Caribbean and bombing of 14 boats. Somebody tell me 15, but I count up to 14 boats where due justice didn't take place. People just and by the end of the night, body float up all over Trinidad and Tobago. Body float so because of the bombing that would have taken place in Trinidad space. And this is not that we telling we played from here, we played and you hear the UN speech. Kamla Persad-Bissessar would agree with the US on the murder of those fishermen that probably that might have, let be real, they might have be transporting drugs. But can they reach America? And now, this same individual, this same Kamla Persad-Bissessar that would have just mounted a platform and speak and say this is a threat and we're not taking it lightly and this is what's going on, we will respond with deadly force. Now that we are seeing that when she is placed to the test and the people, the intelligent people in Trinidad and Tobago start to question and start to act in a particular way, you are seeing the ministers, you are seeing Philip Alexander, you are seeing Roger Alexander, and you are seeing down to the Prime Minister of this country talking hogwash. My God, what are we reaching to here in this country? The same woman, listen to she.
Hearing that all defense personnel have been ordered to report for duty. A normal thing for all?
What makes it normal? I should ask you, Mr. Hayes, you should work.
So you're saying this is normal for all defense force personnel to be ordered for duty today, sir? Is there anything happening? The public wants to know. There's some unease in the public right now. People panic.
The whole public idea. You can allay their fears by stopping and talking to us and explaining exactly what you know. When I tell you the truth, you're going to say something else.
No, tell us the truth. We're not trying to scare anybody. But people are scared. We can tell you that. Real people.
So you can scared?
Real people are afraid, right?
Scared, Mr. Hayes and my friend, are you scared?
In the lack of information, it could get scary. So tell us what's happening. You say have the truth first. Tell us the truth, sir.
It's a steady state of emergency. Why? Why, Mr. Hayes? Yes, why, sir?
People want to hear from their minister, sir. They want to hear from their Homeland Security Minister. What can you tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Stay calm and all is well. Should the defense force stay calm as well? Now they've been calling to we were expecting a protest outside here this morning with locals, not Spanish, local persons protesting. So all is well. I don't know what.
So that's what they're on a state of readiness for a protest outside the parliament?
Wait a second.
No, I'm asking, sir.
All right. How would I say, my friend?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The defense force, the call out the defense force, come out. War or something is about to happen. We just hear Kamla Persad-Bissessar would have stated to you and would have made a point international, stating that there is a threat in Trinidad and Tobago and we're not taking bullying. The defense force have been placed on high alert. The minister in the Ministry of Homeland Security that is responsible for external and internal threat that might occur or is occurring on citizens. You are telling the public, my God, it didn't have a problem? Like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, forget what she would have said just a few weeks hence? My God! Boy, what really going on with some of us here in Trinidad and Tobago? What really taking place with us? Just a few weeks ago. Yes, just a few weeks ago. Boy, play the tape there for me.
TNT territory is off limits to them. If Mr. Cabello's comments are a veiled threat to enter TNT territory, they should reconsider any such intention. The fact is that as a responsible government, we have to take all threats against any incursion into our territory seriously. I will speak to Minister of Defense and Attorney General to seek advice on protections for our Coast Guard, to use deadly force on any unidentified vessel entering TT waters from Venezuela, smuggling military able-bodied men and women. TNT is off limits to them. Following comments from Maduro and Cabellos, we now have to take seriously the threat by that government sending their agents into our country to commit acts that can be adverse to our own welfare. We will also have to take a look at how we go forward with Venezuelan migrants here who are military-aged and able-bodied men and women. We have to take this threat seriously now. They have done this before. They made similar propaganda comments about Guyana and Colombia whenever they had interior political problems or elections, and then they engaged in border skirmishes with violence. We will take these threats very seriously. I want to tell further TNT drug and human traffickers, smugglers, who are masquerading as fishermen. If you enter Venice waters to do your illegal acts and you're caught by Venice authorities, you are on your own. I repeat, you are on your own. No amount of family crying on Ian's programs will cause us to intervene. Mr. Cabello.
Just a few months ago, a few weeks ago, Kamla Persad-Bissessar would have mounted in the public space a platform where she would have labeled the threat that is existing, whether I lie or not. She have known or know about the threats that exist, that is real upon the shores and upon the high seas, where the US is making joke. They blow up people and kill them in cold blood without due process. And we have to call it as it is. What Trump do is murder people. That is what he did. And we are seeing now, as would have been described by a next host on this platform, as a concerted effort as to reshape the narrative. Trump blow up and kill people without bringing them to justice. And Kamla Persad-Bissessar agree with it and tries to embarrass the rest of CARICOM to not to follow, to try to follow them because they didn't follow the sick plans. If I walk down the road now, somebody do me something, and I pull out a knife or a gun and I shoot them, is that justifiable? Look what take place. Yesterday, the people would have reached and they went in the pharmacy. They went all over the place to stock up on goods and because of what going on next door. Because of what taking place next door. We have seen media traffic after media traffic. People inside and outside this country is talking about the war that take place or it's taking place or is about to take place in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, next to Trinidad and Tobago. And how we could be affected here. And the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security ain't know nothing about that. And telling the people don't panic. Is that a responsible government in Trinidad and Tobago that could openly mislead and lie to the population and tell them that it's nothing to worry about? I know, yeah. But if you believe that Trinidad and Tobago, then you could believe anything.
Hearing that only federal persons have been ordered to report for duty. A normal thing for all?
What makes it normal?
I should ask you, Mr. Hayes,
So you're saying this is normal for all defense force personnel to be ordered for duty today, sir? Is there anything happening the public wants to know? There's some unease in the public right now, people panic.
The whole public idea, you can allay their fears by stopping and talking to us and explaining exactly what you know.
When I tell you the truth, you're going to say something else.
No, tell us the truth. We're not trying to scare anybody. But people are scared. We can tell you that. Real people.
So you can scare.
Real people are afraid right now.
Scared, Mr. Hayes, that my friend, are you scared?
In the lack of information, it could get scary. So tell us what's happening. You see how the truth
I'm
was.
scared that we go to Parliament now.
Tell us the truth, sir.
It's a steady state of emergency. Why? Why, Mr. Hayes? Yes, why?
People want to hear from their minister, sir. They want to hear from their Homeland Security Minister. What can you tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Stay calm and all is well. Should the defense force stay calm as well? Now they've been calling to we were expecting a protest outside here this morning with locals, not Spanish, local persons protesting. So all is well. I don't know what.
So that's what they're on a state of readiness for a protest outside the Parliament?
What do you think?
No, I'm asking, sir.
All right. How would I say, my friend?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, outside the Parliament, have the audacity to tell the population that it don't have any active threats. Don't panic buy. Don't stock up on supplies. Because it are no threat. But yes, just a few weeks hence, the Prime Minister that have been described as a drunk and fallen down on Gandhi statue would have stated the threat is very real. And you, Roger Alexander, together with the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, is trying to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago that it had no threat. Boy, you're real sick with yourself, yes?
So, let me tell all this, man. You see all this panic stupidness all they're doing? I hear with the man. Look,
Hear them.
before I hear it, tell them now. I hear people want to panic and go and buy toilet paper and water. Should I have anything to panic about right now?
No need to panic, no speaker. In
keeping with the tenets of 27G. I expect them to decline.
Nothing at all, nothing going on. Listen, if anybody have to know, you have to know.
Tell us about this alert that we heard about the Defense Force, all active members being called to duty.
I don't know. I have no information or knowledge about that. I'll find out.
Well, they calm it down now. You see, one of the news media put out some fake news. We done debunk that. Slow your roll, calm down. The Prime Minister said, if there's anything for you to know, she'll tell you. Alright?
Say to the public right now, some members of the public have some schools asking to dismiss some places, some business
Well, I
places
guess
asking.
there's a lot of rain, so they may want to go home. That happens at times.
But just because of the rain?
I don't know. No one has requested these things of me.
Personnel have been ordered to report for duty.
That's a normal thing, my boy.
A normal thing for all.
What makes it normal? I should ask you, Mr. Hayes, you should work.
So you're saying this is normal for all Defense Force personnel to be ordered for duty today, sir? Is there anything happening the public wants to know? There's some unease in the public right now, people panic.
Scare the whole public idea. You can allay them.
In the lack of information, it could get scary. So tell us what's happening. You see how the truth
Don't
was.
scare that we go to Parliament now.
Tell us the truth, sir.
It's a steady state of emergency. Why? Why, Mr. Hayes? Yes, why?
What the hell is this?
People want to hear from their minister, sir. They
What's
want to hear from their
wrong
Homeland
with
Security Minister. What can you tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Alexander, what you saying there, boy? Stay calm, cause all is well. Papa, you good. You get through. Okay.
So that's what they're on a state of readiness for a protest outside the Parliament? No, I'm asking, sir.
All right. How would I say no question?
TNT territory is off limits to them. If Mr. Cabello's comments are a veiled threat to enter TNT territory, they should reconsider any such intention. The fact is that as a responsible government, we have to take all threats against any incursion into our territory seriously. I will speak to Minister of Defense and the Attorney General to seek advice on protections for our Coast Guard, to use deadly force on any unidentified vessel entering TT waters from Venezuela, smuggling military able-bodied men and women. TNT is off limits to them. Following comments from Maduro and Cabellos, we now have to take seriously the threat by that government sending their agents into our country to commit acts that can be adverse to our own welfare. We will also have to take a look at how we go forward with Venezuelan migrants here who are military-aged and able-bodied men and women. We have to take this threat seriously now. They have done this before. They made similar propaganda comments about Guyana and Colombia whenever they had interior political problems or elections, and then they engage in border skirmishes with violence. We will take these threats very seriously. I want to tell further TNT drug and human traffickers, smugglers, who are masquerading as fishermen. If you enter Venice waters to do your illegal acts and you're caught by Venice authorities, you are on your own. I repeat, you are on your own. No amount of family crying on Ian's programs will cause us to intervene. Mr. Cabello.
Now, that right there was the threat that they would have tried to feed you that is not taking place. Where Kamla Persad-Bissessar would have made her point clear within the public domain that there is an active threat. And Trinidad, we ain't taking that just so. When they want to talk gun talk, and then coming further down, when people started see action started take place from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, the TTDF, And when logical thinking people started question what they see, a campaign have been launched throughout social media to attack the psyche of you that is thinking straight. There are people that is placed within the public domain to attack common sense. So what they come and do? They put on a show for you, propaganda, right, wrong. They're bringing up issues from here, bringing up issues from there, and instead of attacking the thing right on, they are telling you what you are seeing is not true. But let me play and let me evaluate this clip here that would have played itself out in the news, a matter of fact. So let's go into this clip here this afternoon. CNC3 News. This is CNC3 News.
Military officials are currently meeting this evening as Trinidad and Tobago's Defense Force remains on high alert.
While no threat to national security has been confirmed, sources say troops have been called out and confined to camp, and readiness checks are underway.
Shane Superville was at Tetron Base in Chaguaramas for this report.
Seemed like a quiet day in Chaguaramas, but signs of discreet activity were unmistakable. Just after 1 p.m., a steady stream of civilian vehicles was seen entering the base. However, no official confirmation has been given on whether this movement is linked to the reported troop call-out to military installations. Sources confirmed to CNC3 News that members of the Defense Force have been confined to camp until further notice, meaning that they are to report to duty and aren't allowed to leave their assigned military barracks. One source stressed that while there was no imminent threat to TNT, the heightened state of readiness was declared in a bid to prepare for any incidents within the region, particularly in relation to ongoing military tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela. The source confirmed that kit inspections and other readiness checks would be part of the regiment's preparedness exercises, noting that another briefing including Chief of Defense Staff Don Polo would be done later this evening. While en route to Chaguaramas, a convoy of police vehicles filled with officers in operational gear was seen on the road. Their destination up to news time remains unclear. When CNC3 News visited the Defense Force headquarters on Chaguaramas, a generally uneventful scene was observed with little activity visible from the roadway outside. But as repeated calls from the government and other authorities continue, military officials say they continue to wait in silence and vigilance. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
And Deputy Police Commissioner Junior Benjamin confirms that leave has also been restricted for police officers.
However, he's seeking to assure that the restriction is simply a cautionary measure based on information circulating of military escalation between Venezuela and the U.S.
Benjamin tells...
So Benjamin would have come out and say, would have take shame out of his face. That, he using his common sense. Despite what they're trying to tell you within the public domain, I using my common sense. And I telling the officers, don't go on no leave. Be suspended no leave. Let this thing pass. But what you get from the Prime Minister, what you're getting from the Homeland Security Minister, and yes, within the comment section, an individual would have stated, a matter of fact, everybody knows Indo-Fly. Everybody knows about the history about Homeland Security Minister, and I am speaking about the TV show he used to host. Okay? Everybody know about the history. I know here about the history too as well. Indo-Fly. But let me get back to the tape.
CNC3 News that leave was stopped until further notice, just in case officers are needed.
That was just a precautionary measure that we took. So, based on all that we were hearing, we thought it was necessary to...
Right. This man deserves a clap. This is being proactive and keeping your ears on the ground. Understand what Benjamin saying. Don't listen to the Prime Minister and Roger Alexander.
take that precautionary measure in stopping further leaves, because we had quite a number of leaves on the desk, so that we, in the event that anything might happen, that we would be able to have enough manpower within the service, to ensure.
This is logical. This is logical. We know what's taking place. People get blown up in the sea. We know about the raging tensions. Social media is free to everybody. Everybody can see what's taking place. But yet still, you have a Prime Minister and the Minister of Homeland Security stand up in the Parliament under oath. They take oath to be in their office and telling you that there is nothing to study about. Nothing to worry about Trinidad and Tobago. Are you so stupid to believe the Prime Minister and Roger Alexander? Tensions all over the place. It's all international. We are hearing about wars. Rumors of wars. CIA want to go into Venezuela. And yet still, in the Parliament, in the place that truth supposed to be spoken, you are telling the people, the nation, at Trinidad and Tobago, that nothing to worry about. Boy.
That at least we're able to roster persons and don't have that kind of burnout.
He adds that the telephone message recalling Special Reserve Police officers was rescinded as that was done in error.
He emphasized that there was no information of any military attacks. Well, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and senior government ministers are urging the public to remain calm and to go about their business as usual. This follows international reports that U.S. President Donald Trump had ordered land strikes against Venezuela and a memo from the Defense Force for all soldiers to report for duty.
However, the Prime Minister says she has no information on that and advised the public to remain calm. Meanwhile, President Trump has since denied that he gave such an order.
Good day, Attorney General. We're hearing that Defense Force
national security, sir.
The Attorney General completely ignored our questions after we received word that active duty soldiers have been ordered to report for duty and assemble at various military installations. And that information came moments after U.S. media outlets reported that President Donald Trump ordered land strikes against Venezuela. But the Homeland Security Minister described the order by the Defense Force as nothing out of the ordinary.
A normal thing for all.
People, anybody, any one of you could take anything the Minister of Homeland Security say after that, if crime go up and many of you believe that the Minister of Homeland Security telling Oya to keep calm, by something wrong with Oya, by.
The minister then blamed the media for causing any sense of unease in the public.
People panic.
The minister's only message to the public was,
stay calm and all is well.
And then curiously, Minister Alexander said the protective services were on standby for a protest.
We were expecting a protest outside here this morning with locals, not Spanish, local persons protesting, so all is well.
Now, when the Prime Minister arrived at the Parliament today, she said she had no info on any extraordinary action by the military.
I don't know. I have no information or knowledge about that. I'll find out.
And to the nation, the Prime Minister said,
I would say, be calm. There's nothing to fear this time. I cannot predict the future, but on my cards, on my books, there is nothing to fear. There's a lot of speculation, not just here, not locally, everywhere. I mean, it's a situation that really demands everybody's attention. We will keep our eyes and ears peeled and act when we see it's appropriate.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs issued a media release this afternoon saying there's no need for the population to be concerned and citizens are urged to remain calm. Something Sean Sobers sought to underscore in the Parliament.
White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly denied reports that the United States was imminently poised to engage in military action in the region and advised that any announcements regarding Venezuela policy would come directly from the president, not from the PNM.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy put out a tweet seeking to debunk claims that President Donald Trump ordered that land strikes against Venezuela commence today.
That you are considering.
Now, people, this is not a conspiracy. Look at the concerted efforts by the Minister of Homeland Security to downplay the issue, by the Prime Minister of this country, Trinidad and Tobago, to downplay the issue, and by Sean Sobers, the Minister. My God.
Strikes within Venezuela. Is that true?
No.
That you made a decision on that?
No, it's not true.
Meanwhile, high-ranking Defense Force personnel were at the Red House today. However, the Prime Minister revealed they were there as part of a promotion ceremony. CNC3 News was invited to witness the promotion of Lieutenant Colonel Dwayne Edwards to Colonel, and the Chief of Defense Staff Don Polo was promoted to the rank of Commodore. Given all that was unfolding in the country, we attempted to interview Commodore Polo about today's developments. However, we were advised to send all questions through his communications department.
Now, the Supermarkets Association is assuring citizens there's no need to panic buy groceries. There was an unusual surge in shopping activity across several supermarkets in South Trinidad, with long lines and heavy traffic beyond the normal month-end rush. But the association president, Biondi Bechu, says the increased activity may have been sparked by reports suggesting the U.S. had identified targets in Venezuela linked to drug trafficking. He notes those reports have since been debunked and supermarkets remain well stocked with essential and general items. Bechu is urging shoppers to stay calm, adding that the association continues to work closely with suppliers to maintain a steady flow of goods.
There's no need to rush to get those items in a bulk sort of fashion. Right. As well as there's been recent reporting that we've seen just recently coming out of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I believe, sort of debunking the international media reporting. That was, I believe, the Miami Herald, which was then also refuted by a Reuters report.
Bechu says supermarkets are operating as normal and there is no cause for alarm. He's encouraging the public to trust the country's strong supply chain network.
What I want to do here this afternoon, I want to bring back part of the tape here because
top military
the attorney installed that pressure for causing the minister's only message for at the parliament today. She said she had no info on any extraordinary action by the military.
I don't know. I have no information or knowledge about that. I'll find out.
And to the nation, the Prime Minister said,
I would say, be calm. There's nothing to fear at this time. I cannot predict the future, but on my cards, on my books, there is nothing to fear. There's a lot of speculation, not just here, not locally, everywhere. I mean, it's a situation that really demands everybody's attention. We will keep our eyes and ears peeled and act when we see it's appropriate.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs issued a media release this afternoon.
Now, we want to know if the Prime Minister lied in his statement. And this year today, go tell you. This year today, go tell you. I thought it was on screen.
When asked by the media whether the rumors were true that members of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force were being called to base, she said that I got nothing on my phone and I had lots of things on my phone. I got nothing on my phone. The Prime Minister either showed up to Parliament woefully unprepared or is telling a lie. Now, apart from the fact that the chance...
I believe the latter. Either she's woefully unprepared or she's telling a lie. I believe the latter.
Chances of the head of the National Security Council, who is the Prime Minister, not knowing is slim, very slim. But let us assume that somebody who should answer and probably lose their work didn't tell her. according to Standing Order 27-1A, Wayne's Sturge used G, but I use an A. To file an urgent question, the opposition would have needed to submit their question at least 1 hour prior to the sitting of the House. That means that 1 hour prior to the arrival of Kamla Persad-Bissessar at Parliament, that question would have been on the order paper. The order paper would have been printed and submitted to the MPs in the lower house. All of that would have happened prior to Kamla Persad-Bissessar's arrival at Parliament. Are you saying that as Prime Minister, you are unaware or you have not seen the order paper before a sitting? You are showing up to Parliament having never viewed the order paper? Is that what you're saying? You see, your Minister of Defense would have seen it because he had to answer the question. Your Minister of Education, there was a question for him there too. There was a question for the Minister of Finance. So certainly the Minister of Defense would have needed to call you to say, hey, you're the head of the National Security Council. Don't you know what's going on? Or can you inform me so that I can answer this urgent question? Because if you didn't take the time to read the order paper, your Minister of Defense certainly would know, hey, there's a question that I need to answer. And he would call the head, his leader, the head of our National Security Council and say, ma'am, can you advise as to how to answer? So I find it, I want to use parliamentary language and say you're being dishonest. And there can be no trust if you lie directly to us in our face. The lack of communication is what is causing the fear-mongering, is what is causing the panic, because we don't know what's going on. Our police service, we've just seen a letter where leave has been suspended, so everybody who on leave needs to come back. We know for sure, and I had to say, Philip Alexander, you could put out fake news. This is Trinidad and Tobago. 5,000 servicemen have a wife, have a child, have a friend, have a somebody. This is Trinidad and Tobago. We are a tiny island. Our grapevine, like, really connected. So to say it's fake news is to insult us. We need a clear communication plan. I saw the former Minister of National Security, Gary Griffith, who is, he's a security expert. And he rightfully said, this fear-mongering is happening because there is no communication. There is no official communication coming out of our government in a timely manner. But instead, we have to listen to CNC3 say, well, Wayne Sturge in Parliament say no comment because it's not in the public's interest. Alexander say, Roger Alexander, that is, say, well, that's normal. That's nothing. State one posture is nothing, is normal. And then we hear the Prime Minister say, I have no information about that. But the question is on the order paper. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, I think you have been caught being untruthful. Honestly, I find it very difficult to believe that this question was on the order paper. The opposition knew about it to be able to ask it in time, 1 hour before the sitting, and you knew nothing about it. That to me is you getting caught in a lie, and the country deserves better. We cannot trust you if you are going to watch us and lie in our face.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Because if it is an emergency question can be filed early. What the Minister of National Security is saying, what Kamla Persad-Bissessar is saying, what's going on with people in this country, boy? I know you're talking about propaganda. Let me play a piece of propaganda.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister.
Good afternoon.
afternoon, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. It's a bit.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Madam Prime Minister, what can you tell us about this alert that we've heard about the Defence Force, all active members being called to duty?
I don't know. I have no information or knowledge about that. I'll find out.
What can you say to the public right now? Some members of the public have some schools asking to dismiss, some places, some business places
I guess
asking.
there's a lot of rain, so they may want to go home. That happens at times.
But just because of the rain?
I don't know. No one has requested these things of me. So if when it comes on my desk or on this phone, I've seen nothing of that sort. And I get a lot of messages. So if there's a situation that arises, we will deal with it.
And when we look at the US reports talking about an imminent strike on Venezuela, has that come across your desk?
That has not come. Yes, I've seen the reports. I've also seen where President Trump is saying something different. So again, there's a lot of speculation, not just here, not locally, everywhere. I mean, it's a situation that really demands everybody's attention. We will keep our eyes and ears peeled and act when we see it's appropriate. We are not sitting ducks as we used to be here. We might be getting rained on, but we're not sitting ducks in the rain. We have been receiving intelligence reports, and thus far I have none that there is an imminent strike anywhere in the region.
What's your message to the nation right now? You know, the weekend is coming, people will be out and about, but some might be a little apprehensive. What would you say to them?
I would say, be calm. There's nothing to fear at this time. I cannot predict the future, but on my cards, on my books, there is nothing to fear. We go in this morning, this afternoon in Parliament to extend the state of emergency. The data shows us clearly that it has worked as an instrument. It is not the cure-all, it's not a panacea, but it has worked. Murders are down, other serious crimes are down, and this is why, based on recommendations from Commissioner of Police, we want to extend the state of emergency.
Can you give us an update on what would have happened in the 5 days that the USS Gravely was here, and are we expecting any more vessels to show up?
It was very calm, very peaceful. We saw little children visiting that warship. We had no untoward circumstances that arose, and everything went calmly and smoothly.
In this partnership with the US against narco traffickers, are you satisfied with the information that you're getting from the US? Are they being cooperative when you would make your own inquiries as to what's happening, anything like that?
Sure, we've been in touch with the Charge d'Affaires here. My Minister of Foreign Affairs has been in touch. Once before you asked me something and I told you we could get the whole treasury. When we were in New York and you asked me, I said there's always room for improvement. There is always room for improvement, but thus far there's nothing that has me unduly worried at this point in time.
Are we looking at oil prices going up and down because of uncertainty in the market? Should they have nothing to fear to? We are a oil and gas energy economy still.
I don't understand.
There's uncertainty in the market because of what people are hearing in Venezuela. Have you been following that, paying attention to that, what that can mean for our economy?
Well, we always have had, because of our energy-based part of the economy, we've always had price shocks. We've had production shocks as well. We've been able to weather those thus far, and we continue to monitor the prices on the world market. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Quite frankly, at this point in time, gentleman, lady, we have no cause for concern. If and when that happens, I will share it with you as soon as it comes to me.
Do we have a plan for if and when it happens? Like,
well, I'm sure
we practice for hurricanes, earthquakes, but I don't think
I don't even know we practice for hurricanes. I'm not sure we do. We see what has happened to Jamaica, and all our love goes out to them. Yesterday, we sent off 8 containers of supplies, relief supplies. This morning, we sent off some medical supplies with Caribbean Airlines, and they've now requested to get some help with personnel for TNTech. Their lines are down, all their power lines. So I think during this week, we are sending a few senior people first, and then we may send about 25 in a battalion to assist them because all their power lines are down. So we are focusing on helping them. Haiti and Cuba now, we have to also redo our efforts to try to also send some help to Cuba and Haiti and some of Bermuda, but Cuba has been very badly hit, so we would want to help there. So what was your question?
Just one more time. What is the plan if we reach that state of war, for lack of a better word?
In all seriousness and with greatest of respect, I don't think it's appropriate to share whatever a plan may be and whatever the plan is. These are national security matters. They're exceedingly sensitive matters. And I do not think it is for me to be at liberty to share very serious national security plans at this point in time.
But what should the public be doing in that event?
The public should be going about their business. Keep safe, keep strong, and always put your faith in the Almighty. And they'll be fine. We will be fine. Again, I assure you, if there was any cause for concern for Trinidad and Tobago, I will share it with you. Prime Minister, we will share it with you. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that word getting wet?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
You will have a very blessed day, and thank you so
very
much.
much. All our best to Mr. Bissessar as well.
Yes, I will. No, he's fine, you know. It's just he walks a little.
That was the Prime Minister of this country. Imminent war is upon us here in this region. And when the CNC3 reporter would have asked Kamla Persad-Bissessar what advice you have for the public if we end up in a place of war, keep calm. Earthquake, it have a response. For flood, it have a response. Tornado, people that's build cellars in the US. Lightning strike, they tell you stay away, stay indoors in terms of when lightning striking. But when war take place within a country, or we are hearing wars and it start, will there be a state broadcast that will be broadcast, hey, this thing going to happen? It's upon us. Look out for this signal that war is taking place and we must take every precaution to shelter. The U.S. Embassy tell U.S. citizens stay away from government buildings, stay away from the U.S. Embassy because things could happen. The Venezuelans telling their fishermen, hey, don't go out and sea. Is it that we should go and it's business as usual? Should that be the real case of war if war have to break out? And what we are hearing from the Prime Minister of this country, the Minister of Homeland Security, the same thing. The right-thinking citizens outside here know what is taking place because I get the voice note just like, let me play it. Let me play this voice note.
Listen to me. America is about to invade Venezuela. They're not letting the public know. They have all Trinidad troops on standby. I get word from the inside. So the public don't know. All you let whoever they need to know. The country on standby right now. The public do not know. We get direct information from soldier families that is what is going on right now. They have all the soldiers on base on standby because America about to invade Venezuela. And Maduro already said once that happens, they're going to attack Trinidad. So I'll pay attention. Please pray. I am a wreck. And let everybody, loved ones know, please. I can't get to everybody one time. So yeah, let whoever needs to know now, please. We don't know time and hour, but Trinidad troops is on standby.
Good afternoon, fellow contractors. Please stay tuned in the news and hear what's going on. Who have to go out, stock up all your water, stock up all your toilet paper, stock up all your food items, canned food, candles. We don't know how serious this thing is. I'm just saying, right? This is a voice note that I received. So I just pass it on because I want everybody to be safe, okay? Have a blessed one and be safe.
Now, how we does link truths together? It's very simple. Now, was the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force put on high alert? Question is yes. Did Trump said that he is about to invade Venezuela? The question is yes. So should we be on high alert in Trinidad and Tobago? You're the defense, the Minister of Homeland Security, when such questions have been asked of him. Should we be on alert? And today he make himself a clown again.
Yes, says, I think I as the minister have to come out and correct it. That's, what is that? So the sky is going to fall this evening at 4. The social media said. Trinidad and Tobago, we just want you to know that we have no information at all that the sky is going to fall. A train is going to pass through Trinidad and Tobago this evening at 6. Trinidad and Tobago, we just want to inform you that no train. You think that is fair to members of the public? But that makes logical sense.
Minister, of course, they have been a former Minister of National Security, and of course, he had a former head of the National Security Center weighed in on the topic, and they did put forward suggestions that could have. Do you think that there could have been something done differently to allay some of the concerns?
All right. Where did the information come from? That's the first thing I have to find out, you know. Where did the information came from? Where? Who gave that information? And everybody chiming in and coming in and making all kind of statements, and all I view it as is just a whole bunch of rubbish.
Do you think that there could have been something done differently to allay some of the concerns?
All right. Where did the information come from? That's the first thing I have to find out, you know. Where did the information came from? Where? Who gave that information? And everybody chiming in and coming in and making all kind of statements, and all I view it as is just a whole bunch of rubbish, really. Because if you have that responsibility and you have the information as to what is happening in terms of your people, we will not leave you. Just like when something happens, we open up the party bus route and we inform persons that the party bus route is open up because there are flooding in it. You understand what I'm saying?
I really don't know what to say again, you know? Because before the information would have sent throughout social media, people did think we, the citizens of this country, would have been graced with this message.
Listen to me. America is about to invade Venezuela. They're not letting the public know. They have all Trinidad troops on standby. I get word from the inside. So the public don't know. Let whoever they need to know. The country on standby right now. The public do not know. We get direct information from soldier families that is what is going on right now. They have all the soldiers on base on standby because America.
Now, information travels and listen. Now, that was before Parliament. This message would have been sent throughout social media. A lot of people get this message on the phone. And yet still, before Parliament, before people come and ask, hey, here what's going on, look where we are in. And hear the nonsense rebuttal from a man that ought to know better. Are you taking your job seriously, Mr. Alexander? Come. Are you taking your job seriously?
Top military officials are currently meeting this evening as Trinidad and Tobago's Defense Force remains on high alert.
While no threat to national security has been confirmed, sources say troops have been called out and confined to camp, and readiness checks are underway.
Shane Superville was at Tetron Base in Chaguaramas for this report.
Seemed like a quiet day in Chaguaramas, but signs of discreet activity were unmistakable. Just after 1 p.m., a steady stream of civilian vehicles was seen entering the base. However, no official confirmation has been given on whether this movement is linked to the reported troop call-out to military installations. So,
now, today, let me take down this thing a little bit here this afternoon. Now, that was one. Now, there are a lot of people consistently in the public domain have been trying, and you have to watch what's taking place. When you see certain information that is being dovetailed throughout social media, people are making themselves present as to answer to certain things or to say certain things. Be aware. Be aware.
I want to say something about this thing with Venezuela and Trinidad and all this madness taking place here. I just want to understand something, right? First of all, it's alleged that Rowley and them and this man is friends. Rowley and them, the PNM.
Now, how come Rowley being friends? America declare war on drugs, as they say, which we know that is far from the truth. There are many places in America that is littered with drugs, cocaine, and I mean crack cocaine, a matter of fact. There are people that walking back to front all over parts of America. And you come in the Caribbean with worship and all kind of thing to say you combating drugs without even engaging people on the high seas there with countries, a matter of fact. You decide to pick up this fight on your own and kill innocent people too in the balance. But anyway.
And the government of and the president of Venezuela is friends. Them sending different messages across there.
This is what you just get from somebody that is uninformed.
That's why the Venezuelan and them president and whoever across they could say all these bad things about Kamla that Kamla never even say. You understand? All Kamla was talking about the drugs and the guns that leaving from Venezuela to come up the Caribbean and to come to Trinidad and Tobago, and she sided with the US with that. Over the years we suffer with all these guns flooding the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. Every minute is a bloodshed. Over the years we suffer 500, 600 murders in this little place. Her place is bigger than we own.
Boy. And this is what we listen to on social media. This is what we listen to on social media when all of the commissioner, except Roger Alexander, know that all the guns, the large cache of drugs and guns come through the port. Legal port of entry. So when cocaine and drugs and guns is flooding the streets of Trinidad and Tobago, and we in check within our ports, I'd saying some doesn't come true. Pirogues and things, but think Trinidad and Tobago, how much a pirogue could bring in Trinidad and Tobago? We see containers of cocaine ship out of here. Drugs, guns, barrels of guns. And what you are telling me? What are you telling me? And we listen to people like them for information? Somebody that supporting a government regardless to what, and trying to bring Rowley in this? Boy, what really going on with
less
you, boy?
Less than 100 murders, boy. So, if I think that's a normal thing, go and face what families facing in Trinidad. Go and face what families facing in Trinidad. Go and put your brother or your sister in front of a gunman, them shoot off here. And then get no justice for it. And feel how that's feel. You understand me? Where the people and them who go missing, the young people who missing, where they gone? In the bush, the hider. You ever asked yourself that? Where they gone? Where is human trafficking? These young people and all, where they gone? Where they going missing? telling people going missing. Plenty people going missing up to now, they didn't find them back. Where they gone? Where they gone? You hear people about the parts missing in their body, and they want body parts, and they want liver, and they want the kidney, and they want kind of thing. All they know what's going on in the world. All they know what's going on right next to me. And they want to take them. No one ever tell Venezuela up to today. The UNC never tell Venezuela up to today that thing what's going on. We wish that the Americans come and blow up all the country. They never say that. But yet still, the PNM fighting for power. They fighting to weaken up Watchmen. If they feel die the way, if they Watchmen, they don't have a chance, you know. That government has no chance, you know. That government have no head. Them is wicked, greedy, set of fucking bitches, though. You understand? They never come back in power, though, I swear.
That is what you will call a perfect dunce. A perfect dunce. You hearing, you seeing what's going on. Are you talking about Rowley? Are you talking about Rowley? Many a times when we conducting research, and we listen, and we replay some of the statements that Rowley, the same Rowley, that would have placed within the public domain, and we would have looked at him as a tyrant and as a vindictive person. I myself would have said that on social media. But listen to this. Talk about Rowley.
Some people, election day is mission accomplished. And after that, it is 5 years of bacchanal, of thieving, of wrong certificate, of drinking, of drunken, and to hell with Trinidad and Tobago until the next election. Ladies and gentlemen, in this fucking facility, you may not remember what Skinner Park looked like before.
You know, let me play back that thing again.
For some people, election day is mission accomplished. And after that, it is 5 years of bacchanal, of thieving, of wrong certificate, of drinking, of drunken, and to hell with Trinidad and Tobago until the next election. Ladies and gentlemen, in this fucking facility, you may not remember what Skinner Park looked like before.
Now, again, as I tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, many of the times when we are conducting research here, and we go back into the archive, and we went through the information that was placed in the public domain by the PNM, and we match it up to what is taking place now. We put it in rank order, and we go through it with a fine-teeth comb. We could see the truth. But it's only on you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to gravitate, to read, to go in and to check what we are playing here for you. What are you seeing now in Trinidad and Tobago? Are you seeing a government that is really governing? Or you are putting the people of Trinidad and Tobago directly within the firing line? And you are hearing dotish people like them, dotishness, the high order, sensationalizing the issues, because you have a phone and I could put it in front of my face. I'm talking a bunch of rubbish. without even understanding the ramification there.
We only bad talking camera and race talk and talk about nigger and Indian and coolie and
Yeah,
this
that
and that. By
activate
the
you.
whole of the PNM was fucking Indian by short, young and fast and Rari and Imbut, all of them is Indian people by. All I wasn't talking about them Indian every party and Indian, all of us say them thing. But you know what happened? As you come in power, she had them good. We were all over watch she house. Don't watch we. If I blow up our house, blow up the house. But she fight them for we by. She fight them for we by. Which that is a good Prime Minister. Kamla is a good Prime Minister. Remember what I tell all you. Kamla is a good Prime Minister. She fighting for she people by. Who wouldn't want to stop drugs from coming in the country? A drug dealer will want that to stop. A drug dealer wouldn't want that to stop.
People, I hope you make your own analysis, read between the lines, and understand when somebody is not informed and just trying to sell a narrative without proof. Argumentum ad lapidem, appeal to the stone. There are people that would always come to gang rape this. And then Roberts go come with a post. Philip Alexander is going to come with a post. There are many of them, heavy duty, all of them go come with a post to gang rape your intelligence. To bring them down to a level, that you will accept anything. So there are people that is on social media that is being paid to gang rape your intelligence to nothing, bring it to nothing. And that was an individual there that allowed himself to be carried away, make himself an instrument to parrot other people's opinion without even self-verifying and checking facts. He have allowed himself to be an instrument that he knows nothing about. And there are many of them within the social media space that allow themselves to be instruments without even self-checking facts, analyzing data, putting things down. Some of us 2 weeks ago we become a politician and all of a sudden we know what to say, we giving advice and not understanding that together, if we come together, we could combat this nonsense that is taking place, because what we would have voted change for is not to go back to do the same thing. It's not to do the same thing. It's to be transparent, to be truthful to the people, to talk on the basis of facts, not opinion, to explain, hey, look, we hearing something, what going on? We here consistently have been giving you information all the time, weekly, tirelessly. Look, today the program start over an hour late. All because of bringing information and making sure that it is truthful and it is factual. So when we make broad statements here on this platform and we say, hey, Alexander is a dunce, is without contradiction. And when we say the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is putting efforts into misleading you, the population, we could say these things without contradiction. For months, there was military buildup right outside our waters, in and outside of our waters. Guyana, Grenada, Barbados, all of these small islands and them would have said no to the US, to the pressures. We jump up, kill them violently. That's the kind of talk we talking. And to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I know how much fight again I have inside of me. But I sure I know what I am seeing, and I ain't waiting for confirmation. Because the old people have a saying, what you can see in the day, don't wait for in the night to use candle to see what you're already seeing in the day. And many of you outside there are going to pay a price for being blind. William Wilberforce said, you can never say, you can say don't know something, but you can never say you don't know what you already know. You can never say that. We are seeing what is taking place within our country. We are seeing what is taking place within the international space. We are hearing wars. We are seeing military action, military assets that is being built up within Venezuela, all because the US want control of oil and the resources of Venezuela. And the people, the prime minister, the president of the country say, no, we are not allowing this. And we are seeing regime change, a forceful regime change. $40 million bounty on the head of Maduro. All because this man decided to stand up for his people. Whether or not we like what is taking place, there are diplomatic ways in doing certain things, and we are not taking that anger. We decide that we big, we bad, and we could go into any place in the world and do what we want. And Trinidad, Trinidad and Tobago, this place that I would have known full of life, energy, vitality, and despite of what the politicians say, I could still, in the morning when I get up, I could go and eat my doubles. I could get up, I could buy a lupai. I could still go and see my partner drinking something and say, boy, hey, barman, give me a cup there. If we don't listen, if we don't band together, our destruction is going to come faster than anything. And soon, the island that would have been the gem of the Caribbean in terms of where energy is concerned can end up like Haiti. I hope that God bless us all and we see the end of what is taking place here today. Lord, calling to Sadiqua. My Lord, have mercy on Trinidad. Jim, I ain't gonna answer here. I ain't gonna answer. Jim, once you could disprove anything that we say here today, I go come off of social media. But the end of this program here this afternoon, I would have done a video rebutting some of the nonsense that I would have seen on the social media space. And we will end the show with that. You can tell me if you want, if you believe or whatsoever, that is of no interest to me. According to my partner, that is of no interest to me. If you want to put your head in the sand and let the politicians do you what they want, then you could go ahead. Let the politicians sodomize you. Let the politicians sodomize you. Let me go to the video that would have been uploaded here. And these are the people that many of you are holding steadfast to. Who you are allowing yourself to be influenced by. let's put this up on the screen. So Trinidad and Tobago, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of this program here this afternoon and making your comments known. Now the next show that we have here, I promise to you that we are going to open the lines. Slimy does do his thing from time to time. And you know, he controls certain parts of the channel. So this is the closing statement. And if you, Jim, want to rebut what you see there today, what you see in that clip that is up next, you could go right ahead. Thanks to the many of you that would have made your message known. Let me go and see Jim. Yeah, just make your money and stop lying to the people. What money? Bye. Bye. Under attack, LOL. UNC, what Roger say? And laugh you guys crazy. Yes, Father Lord, he does have it. However, know that certain comments doesn't faze me. I know there's the truth that is being spewed here on this platform. So to the many of you that are outside there, thanks for watching. I have to go. Stay tuned. Listen to the video. We are going to play this video, and anybody that had the testicular fortitude that is able to rebut what you are seeing there now, then or you can message me. Subscribe to the platform. It's Workers' Rights 868 on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We are on X. Our website is www.workersrights868.com. This program is going on live right about now on the website. So in case they decide to close down, we are going to go live consistently on the website. So thanks for watching. Today is Sunday. Today is the 2nd of the 11th month 2025, and I am signing out. Good afternoon to you all, and I believe tomorrow we have a show at 12. We will try to keep with the schedule. Subscribe to the platform and put on your bell notification button. And we are in the process of restructuring this platform to a certain degree. We look forward to working with some of you. Thanks for watching. And again, if anyone want to be a presenter on the platform, please call my number 333-2176. Yeah, slots that we open. Anybody that wants to engage in advertisement, send your ad at 333-2176. For now, until a date to be mentioned, it will be free. We will play through the broadcast that we are broadcasting. It is free, 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 free. Thanks for watching.
About something. Nani? 3 questions. 1. Is Kamla Persad-Bissessar as foolish as David Narkin?
Why has the Independence Day parade never been in Central or South?
Is Kamla Persad-Bissessar as drunk as Annie Roberts?
Look. Oh no! I'm good, how are you?
Nice, man. Or is Kamla Persad-Bissessar an idiot like Philip Edward Alexander?
What? Do you have any information that India has any sort of arrangement with Trinidad and Tobago for that to take place?
I have no information on that.
Given it's a sensitive diplomatic topic, if you don't have that information, why would you make such a strong statement like that using the word nuke?
Now, when many of you may not be able to answer these questions, I can. If you had to say that she's as foolish as David Nackett,
thank you.
You remember when she would have said, sunlight does kill COVID?
You talk about sunlight. Sunlight is great. We are so blessed. The climate we have is one of the best in the world. And I repeat again, sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight will kill COVID.
If you want to answer the question that if Kamla Persad-Bissessar is a drunk, just like Arnold Roberts, hear what the former leader of the UNC would have said.
Did Jack not go on Mulchan Trace Junction and said that you were so drunk you fall down on Gandhi's statue? That is on record. I didn't say that, Kamla. Jack said that. Do you have the guts to go and say that Jack said that about you?
You drink from last night, you drink the night before. If you drink tomorrow night, you drink forevermore. So you really have to drink from until you die.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, if you want to know if she's an idiot like Edward Alexander, listen to the speech that she would have given in the UN. Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, is a zone of peace, but yet still your speech was depicting war. Now, as I would have said before we would have went into this whole dialogue here on this platform, is that saying that this is not a banana because it's not attached to a tree is a logical fallacy. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago must not be stupid or remain stupid. Citing things like drugs and criminal activities that take place within a country or a region does not say that this is not a zone of peace. I wonder where Kamla, where she getting her reasoning from. Because when the hunting season closes, you see people going and hunt, right? That doesn't say that the hunting season will close. This is not a place, the bird sanctuary. You're not supposed to kill the scarlet ibis. But you're still finding people that, that doing such. So by citing that there are criminal activities that take place within the region, to try to state that here is not a zone of peace because of that is utter foolishness. And the thing about it is, we must give Jackie jacket, Jimmy Jim boots, and state the obvious facts. We would have thought that after April 28th, that if the UNC would have won, they had good intentions. We would have prayed for that. Because we would have felt slighted by the previous administration fault that they were not hearing us. Now we would have entered into something that we wonder, in some of us, right thinking, people outside are thinking, well, how did we end up here? And now we are here in the dragon deal scenario. And I want to know, well, wait now, is this the twilight zone that I am in here in Trinidad and Tobago? Or is people outside there being hypocrites or not stating the obvious facts? The thing about it is this, Trinidad and Tobago, black people judges themselves and their fellow men more than other races. We would have seen all the red flags in the UNC and still decided to give them a chance on the basis of one. There are people that would have joined the party that would have brought a certain type of integrity to the party. And just before the election, all of these people have been thrown out. All of them have been thrown out. And we are saying to ourselves here, what is taking place? in Trinidad and Tobago. Why are we not getting what was promised to us? A simple history check on the UNC party would have provided the answer to you. Because if we have to judge and match up their actions from the past and now the present, we are seeing similarities. They never keep their promise and is a party that is mad for corruption, bacchanal, mismanagement, and they're not caring for people. Yes, they would have pulled out the act whilst they were in opposition, and now they would have attained governance. Thousands of people would have been left on the breadline. To justify what? PNM. This is not a tool. Wow. So coming back to the Ebadi story, Trinidad and Tobago. Don't be addicted to sweet talk, mama guy. Steer the bull right in its eye and call a spade a spade. What we are receiving today is something that wasn't promised to us. And we need to be straightforward and get right to the point.
You know, you talk about sunlight. Sunlight is great. We are so blessed. The climate we have is one of the best in the world. And I repeat again, sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight will
Morris music.
Sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight. And I repeat again, sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight will kill COVID. Sunlight. And I repeat again.
You're going to be alone in the toughest times of your life. Those moments, they make you wise, mature, and fearless. No matter how much good you do, people will always $100 if this resonates with you, and hit that follow button because this account is for you. And remember this, hustlers, you're going to be alone in the toughest times of your life. Those moments. And remember this, hustlers, you're going to be alone in the toughest times of your life. Those moments, they make you wise, mature, and fearless. No matter how much good you do, people will always remember your mistakes. That's just the game. No is one of the most powerful words you can use. Don't be a people pleaser. Stand your ground. Prepare for the best, but be ready for the worst. To get somewhere, you got to leave something behind. It's all about timing. If you don't let go at the right time, you're left with regrets and complaints. People want you to succeed, but not more than they want it for themselves. When you're working for someone else's dream, you're sacrificing your own. Bad times, they're a blessing in disguise. They wake you up to the good things you took for granted. No matter how nice or respectful you are, some people will still talk behind your back. That's life. And here's a harsh truth. The people you love can be your biggest weaknesses. So stay strong, stay focused, and keep hustling. Life's a game, and you got to play it smart. Drop a 100 if this resonates with you, and hit that follow button because this account is for you. And remember this, hustlers, you're going to be alone in the toughest times of your life. Those moments. And remember this, hustlers, you're going to be alone in the toughest times of your life. Those moments, they make you wise, mature, and fearless. No matter how much good you do, people will always remember your mistakes. That's just the game. No is one of the most powerful words you can use. Don't be a people pleaser. Stand your ground. Prepare for the best, but be ready for the worst. To get somewhere, you got to leave something behind. It's all about timing. If you don't let go at the right time, you're left with regrets and complaints. People want you to succeed, but not more than they want it for themselves. When you're working for someone else's dream, you're sacrificing your own. Bad times, they're a blessing in disguise. They wake you up to the good things you took for granted. No matter how nice or respectful you are, some people will still talk behind your back. That's life. And here's a harsh truth. The people you love can be your biggest weaknesses. So stay strong, stay focused, and keep hustling. Life's a game, and you gotta play it smart. Drop a 100 if this resonates with you, and hit that follow button, because this account is for you. And remember this, hustlers, you're gonna be alone in the toughest times of your life. Those moments,